Hi guys, this is Sadik from Droidwin.com, and in this video, we'll show you how to root any Android phone using APatch. Apart from that, I'll also show you the steps to give super user access to all the apps, flash modules via APatch, install OTA updates via APatch, and finally how to unroot your phone via APatch as well. So with that said, please take a backup of all the data on your phone and then let's get started. Well, first and foremost, what exactly is APatch? Well, APatch is a kernel-based rooting solution which works in the kernel mode and it gives the root access to all the apps directly in the kernel space. It is somewhat similar to the kernel SU, as you might be aware. Moreover, the APatch UI and the APatch module source code both are taken from the kernel SU itself. So what's the difference in both this module? Well, the major benefit of using APatch over kernel SU is the fact that as opposed to kernel SU, APatch is not just limited to the GKI kernel. So in case of kernel SU, it will only work on those phones which have a GKI kernel. So as of now, I have quite a few phones such as the Pixel 6a, Poco F5, OnePlus 9 Pro, Redmi Note 9 and Galaxy S20 FE. But as of now, I could only use the kernel SU on the Pixel 6a because it's the only phone which has a GKI kernel. Rest all the phones have QGKI kernel and the process will not work across all those phones. But in case of APatch, I was able to root all my phones using APatch. Though there exists a drawback with APatch as well, I'll talk about that as well. But as of now, it is compatible with most Android phones and you will be able to use this across most of the phones with ease. For instance, this is a OnePlus 9 Pro. Let me show you its kernel version. As you could see over here, in the kernel it has a QGKI kernel. So the kernel SU will not work in this phone. Similar to this phone, there are quite a lot of phones with the QGKI kernel, and in that phones the kernel SU will not work. But this is not the case with APatch. It will work across both the QGKI and the GKI kernel. However, the major drawback with APatch is that at the time of recording, it might not work if you are using the initboot file for rooting. So most of the Android phone which came with Android 13 or higher version might not work as of now. So if your phone came with Android 12 or older version, you should try it on your phone. In other words, if you are using the boot image file for rooting, you should try this method. But if you are using the initboot file for rooting, then the APatch might not work on your phone as of now. If you want, you may try it out, but it might prove to be a risky approach as well. So at the time of recording, this is its biggest drawback. In the near future, it might happen that the APatch will give the support for initboot as well, because most of the Android phone nowadays are having Android 13 or higher version. So those might not work. So if your phone came with Android 12 or older version, then you may try out this method. So with that said, let's now get started with the rooting process. So please take a backup of all the data on your phone. First and foremost, you will have to verify if your phone has ARM64 architecture or not. Most of the Android phone does have the ARM64, but still if you want to double check the same, you may install the TroubleInfo app from Play Store. Once you have installed the app, simply launch it. And upon launching it, go to the details tab, and from there you may verify if your phone has the CPU architecture or not. So let me show you. I have this app installed on my OnePlus. So this is the TroubleInfo app. Go there, then go to the details tab, scroll to the bottom and have a look at CPU architecture. If it's showing as ARM64, then the APatch will work on your phone. Near about all the Android phone nowadays have ARM64, so that should not be a cause of concern in your case. Likewise, your device kernel should be between version 3.18 and 6.1. To verify the same, you may simply go to the settings menu on your phone and the kernel should be given here. Let's search for kernel, then choose the kernel version, and as you could see in my case, the kernel version is 5.10.205. So it should be between 3.18 and 6.1. Again, most of the Android phone nowadays will have the kernel version in between this only. So the APatch will work across most of the Android phone that exist nowadays. There shouldn't be any issues. If you want to be double sure whether the APatch will work on your phone or not, there exists a method for that as well. This is a single line command that you could use to verify if your phone is compatible with APatch or not. But there is a major catch. For this command to work, you will have to obtain root. But since our phone is currently not rooted and our ultimate aim is to root via phone APatch, so what is the need? How will we root our phone as of now? Well, you may obtain a temporary root via Magisk, then execute this command. Once you have used the command and verified the result, you may then do a restart Upon a restart, the root will be gone. You may then remove the Magisk app as well and then proceed ahead. Well, this is not exactly required, because if you are able to check mark the first and second requirement, your phone should support a patch. But still, if you want to be double sure, then you may obtain temporary root on your phone and then use this command, and after that you will get the result, and you could then verify if a patch is working or not. Once that is done, simply remove Magisk from your phone to remove the root, and then you could move ahead with the next step. So now with this, we have performed all the checks, the first and second check, and now we could proceed ahead and root our phone via a patch. So in this regard, your first course of action is to get hold of Android SDK platform tools. So get it from my guide and extract them onto your PC. You could extract them anywhere you want. In my case, I've done the extraction in C drive, and these are the files of platform tools. Once that is done, you will now have to enable USB debugging as well, and after that you will have to unlock the bootloader on your phone. Do note that unlocking the bootloader will wipe off all the data, and it might make the warranty null and void as well. If that is well and good, you could refer to a guide. In short, simply boot your phone to fireboot mode and then use the fireboot flashing unlock command. You will then get a warning sign. You will get this prompt. Use the volume key to highlight, unlock the bootloader, and press the power key to confirm. With this, the bootloader will be unlocked. In case of Xiaomi phones, you will have to use the Mi Unlock tool. So with that said, once you have unlocked the bootloader, make sure to re-enable USB debugging. And now you will have to get hold of the stock boot IMG file. So for that, first and foremost, download the same firmware which is currently installed onto your phone. You may verify the same from the build number on your phone. So have a look at the build number and then download the exact same firmware. So in my case, the build number is AP31240.426. So it's 24th April 2024 and 023. Let me just verify it once. So as you could see, this is the firmware in my case, and it's the same as the build number. In case of Pixel, you will have to get hold of the factory image, then simply extract the zip file via the inbuilt Windows extraction tool. In case of Xiaomi, you will have to download the fastboot ROM, then install the 7-zip software and extract the .tgz format file via 7-zip. Again, extract the .tar file via 7-zip, and then you will get an images folder. Go there, and inside the images folder, you will get the boot IMG file. Let me show you. It should be somewhat here itself. This is the boot IMG file. In case of OnePlus, initially the firmware will be in the zip file. Upon extraction, you will get a fastboot enhance. You will get a payload bin file. You will then have to extract the payload bin file via the fastboot enhance tool. So get hold of the tool from my guide and extract the tool onto your PC. Likewise, transfer the payload bin file from the stock firmware inside this folder. Now launch the fastboot enhance tool. Go to the payload dumper, click on browse, choose the payload bin file, click on open. Then go to partitions, choose the boot IMG file from here, checkmark allow incremental and click on extract image, choose the location and click OK, and it will take a few seconds, and once that is done, you will now get the boot IMG file. So let me show you. This is the boot IMG file. So once you have got the stock boot IMG file which correspond to the firmware on your phone, you will now have to transfer the file onto your phone as well. So just give me a minute. This is the fastboot factory image for my phone. Just a minute. This is the one. So let me copy the boot IMG file from my phone, and it should be here itself. Now transfer the boot IMG file on your phone. Once that is done, okay, so I already have a boot IMG file. Let me replace it once. So with this, I have got the boot IMG file. Next up, you will now have to download the Apache from GitHub. So download the Apache APK from here. It's the latest build. This is the Apache. And now once you have downloaded the Apache, you will have to transfer the Apache onto your phone as well. So let me download the Apache APK file from here and transfer the file inside my phone as well. So this is the Apache. Copy it and transfer it onto your phone. So as of now, both the Apache APK and stock boot IMG file should be there on your phone. If that's well and good, let's now proceed ahead and carry out the next step, which involves patching the stock boot IMG file via Apache. So first and foremost, you will have to install the Apache app on your phone. So let me get that job done as well. So let me launch the file manager app. And okay, before that, let me show you one thing. So I might have a root checker app. So let me show you that as of now, my phone is currently not rooted. So that's well and good. So moving on, let's now install the Apache app. So let's go to apps and apps not installed, and over here we have the Apache app. Let me install it once. It will take just a few seconds. and once the app has been installed, launch it. And let me see it once. Launch the app, and now you will get a warning sign. Hit the cross icon. Now tap on the download icon at the top right. As you could see, tap on this icon, then select and patch a file. Select and patch a boot a file. Select a boot image to patch, and then choose the stock boot img file which we have just got. So choose the boot img file, and then you will have to type in a super key. Super key will act as a password. So keep a strong password. It will ask for an 8-digit password. It should have a combination of both the alphabets and numbers. So, and make sure that it's a strong password, because it will act as a security key, and it will act as an additional layer of security. So in case someone tries to access your phone or something like that, they will not be able to do so for the rooted apps until and unless they are aware of this key. So for instance, let me type in a super key, and it should have a combination of both the alphanumeric characters. Just give me a minute, and once that is done, simply tap on the start button, and it will now patch the stock boot img file. Make sure to remember that password or the super key, as we will have to use that later on as well. And as you could see, the patching is now complete and the file is placed in the downloads folder. Let me verify the same. So on my phone, this is the downloads folder, and this is the apatch file. Let me verify. It ends with 10.7 and it's the same file. So copy the patch file and transfer it inside the platform tools folder. So let's transfer it here. It will take a few seconds. Now for the ease of convenience, let's rename the file to something shorter. So let's just rename it to apatch_boot.img. Let me write the boot in small, because uppercase and lowercase does matter in case of commands. So it's the apatch_boot.img. With this we have got the patch file, and now we have to flash it via a fastboot command. Regarding the flashing, there exist two methods, the automatic and the manual. As of now, it's highly recommended that you use the automatic approach, because manual is quite difficult and quite complicated. I have given the steps for the manual as well, but as of now I'll show you the automatic method. So with that said, let's proceed ahead and carry out the job. So for that, you have to open the CMD window inside platform tools, and now type in adb reboot bootloader and hit enter, and your phone will now reboot into fastboot mode. It will take just a few seconds for that to happen. So let's just wait, and then we will verify the fastboot connection. So type in fastboot devices and hit enter. Make sure that you are getting an ID. If you are not getting any ID, then unplug and then right click on the Windows icon and choose device manager and keep it open in the backend. Now you have to refer to my guide and install the fastboot drivers onto your PC. Once you have installed the drivers, now open the device manager, expand the Android phone section, and make sure that your phone is being shown as Android bootloader interface. So this, as well as the serial ID next to fastboot, signify that your PC is able to read the phone in fastboot mode, and we are now good to go ahead. So now we have to flash the apatch boot img file onto our phone. Regarding this, there exist two approaches. If your phone supports temporarily booting, then you must temporarily boot your phone via the apatch boot file and verify if everything is working well and good or not. If everything is working well and good, then you could again reboot your phone to the fastboot mode and then permanently flash the file. On the other hand, if something is wrong with the patch boot file, then you could just do a simple restart and the patch file will be replaced by the stock file, and your phone will then boot to the OS without any issue. So again, I'm repeating, if your phone supports temporarily boot, then just use the fastboot boot command, and if your phone boot to the OS, well and good. If it does not boot to the OS, then just do a restart. The phone will replace the patch boot with the stock boot, and your phone will then boot to the OS. On the other hand, if your phone does not support temporarily boot, or if you have done the temporary boot and now you have to do a permanent boot, then in that case you will have to use the flash command. So let me show you how to use the flash command. This is for those phones which we have already used the boot command and now they want to do a permanent boot or root, or for those phones which does not support temporarily boot. So for that you will have to use the command fastboot flash boot and the file name, which is apatch_boot.img, and hit enter. And just give me a second, the file name should be apatch_boot.img. Okay, so there is no ed at the end of the file. Just give me a minute. So make sure to verify the file name as well, and it will now flash the apatch_boot.img file into the boot partition. Once that is done, type fastboot reboot and hit enter, and your phone will now reboot to the OS. As of now, we just have to carry out a few additional tweaks to obtain permanent root, and with this our task would then stand complete. So since we have used the flash command, you will obtain permanent root. Apart from that, if you use the boot command, then you will again have to boot your phone to the fastboot mode and then use the flash command to obtain permanent root. The benefit of the boot command is the fact that you could verify if there is something wrong with the patch file or not, which is not the case in the flash command. So in case of if you're using the fastboot flash command directly and your phone is not able to boot to the OS, in that case you could simply flash the stock boot img file and the issue will be fixed as well. So you could do that as well. In case something is wrong with the flashing, then simply replace the patch with the stock boot image file and your phone will boot to the OS. So with that said, we have now flashed the patch boot image file. Now you have to launch the APatch app. So launch it, and after that you have to tap on super key. Now type the same super key which we have used earlier. So let me type in that as well, and make sure you are typing in correctly. Then let me verify it once. So it's just a minute. Then once you have done so, tap on OK, and as you could see, I have now got a working message, but the Android patch is still not installed. So now tap on install next to Android patch, and once that option has been removed, you will now have to do a restart. So long press the power key or do a restart as you want. The simple way is just tap on the reboot icon and choose reboot. So our phone will now restart. This restart is compulsory, but only do a restart after you have hit install. So once your phone boots to the OS after using the flash boot command or the fastboot boot command, launch the APatch app and then type in your super key. After that you will get the working message, and then also you will get a not installed next to Android patch. So tap on install and then do a restart. After a restart, you will obtain permanent root on your phone. So let me verify the same as well. It will take a few more seconds for that to happen. So let's wait for the phone to boot to the OS, and it's now in the OS. Let's launch the APatch app, and now as you could see, we are not getting any other message as such. And let me go to the super user once to verify the root, and yes, the rooting is now successfully done. I'll show you how to verify the same as well, but before that, this was the method to automatically flash the boot img file. As I have told you before, there exists quite a few ways. The first one is via the automatic flash. You just have to use the flash command to get the job done. Apart from that, the second method is the manual flash. You may also manually patch the kernel using these steps, but it's somewhat complicated and it will take quite a lot of time, so it does not make any sense whatsoever. Apart from that, you could also use the custom recovery to get this job done. In case of custom recovery, you just have to flash the APatch boot img file via the TWRP recovery in the boot partition. So let me show you for reference. While my Pixel phone does not have a recovery, let me still show you for the sake of reference if I use a OnePlus phone. So first and foremost, it's quite obvious that you will have to install the recovery onto your phone. For that, I made a separate guide and a video. If your phone has a recovery partition, so you may verify if your phone has a recovery partition or not via the command. So just use these three commands and verify if your phone has a recovery partition or not. In this case, as you could see, it has a recovery A and B partition, but this phone does not have a recovery partition. So if your phone does have a recovery partition, then in that case you must directly flash the recovery to the recovery partition. For that, you will have to use the fastboot flash recovery file name twrp.img. Let's suppose and hit enter. On the other hand, if your phone does not have a recovery partition, then simply use the fastboot boot twrp.img. So for instance, in my case, my phone does not have a recovery partition, the OnePlus 9 Pro. So I'll use the boot command. So for sake of reference, let's suppose this is the patch boot image file for my OnePlus phone. I'm just using it for the sake of reference. Likewise, let me find a recovery file for my OnePlus. I guess this should get the job done. So I'm showing you how to patch and flash via the custom recovery. If you don't want to take the help of fastboot, then you could get this job done via this method as well. So first and foremost, let me boot my phone to the TWRP recovery. So type in fastboot boot twrp.img. Okay, before that, it's quite obvious that we have to boot our phone to the fast boot mode, and it will take just a few seconds. And now let me type in fastboot boot twrp.img and then hit enter, and my phone will now reboot into the fast boot mode in the twrp recovery. It will take just a few seconds for that to happen. So let's just wait, and for the sake of reference I am just taking this apatch boot.img file, and then I will transfer the file onto my phone as well. So it will take a few more seconds. So my phone should now be visible here, and it's now visible here. Let me transfer the file here onto my phone. Now if you are taking a custom recovery approach, then after your phone is booted to the recovery, go to install, tap on install image, then choose the apatch boot.img file, then select the boot partition and just swipe to flash, and the apatch boot.img file will be flashed in the boot partition of your phone. Once the flashing is complete, you may simply do a reboot to the OS. So go to reboot and select system, and your phone will then reboot to the OS. Once it reboot to the OS, you will once again have to launch the apatch app, type in the super key as before. Then once you have typed in the super key, just hit the install option next to Android patch and do a restart. Upon a restart, you will then have obtained root. I have already shown all these steps in the earliest section of this video. You may rewind the video a little bit and get hold of that as well. So with this, you will have obtained root via a custom recovery. So there exists three methods: the automatic flashing, in which you just have to flash the patch boot image file. Then there exists a manual patching, which is quite complicated, and you may skip this method. And the third one is using a custom recovery, in which you have to flash the apatch boot.img file in the boot partition to get the job done. And with this, you have obtained root. So let's now discuss the next method, the next approach. So next up, how to update apatch. So first and foremost, get hold of the latest apatch APK file from here. Once you have got the apatch APK file, you will now have to launch the app. Then from the home tab, you will now have to tap on the install icon and then choose patch and install, and now choose the latest, type in the super key, then hit the start icon, and after that the flashing will now start. It will patch the latest build onto your phone. Once that is done, do a restart and the apatch root will be updated. So again, I am repeating, simply download and install the latest apatch from here. Once you have done the install of the APK, download and install the APK from here. Once you have installed the APK onto your phone, simply go to the download icon, patch and install, then type in the super key and hit the start button. It will then patch and flash the boot.img file, the latest build. Once that is done, just do a restart and it will then flash the new boot.img file. And once the flashing is done, just tap on reboot, and upon a reboot, you will be on the latest build of apatch. Once that is done, let's now proceed ahead with the next step. So just give me around 5 to 10 seconds. My phone is undergoing a restart. Anyways, let's discuss the next method. So how to install OTA and still have the root via apatch. So similar to Magisk, apatch also have this option. In this case, let me show you how you could carry out this task. So for that, first and foremost, go ahead and install the OTA update on your phone as you do so for any other update. So download and install the OTA update. But once you have installed the update, please do not restart your phone. That is extremely important. Do not restart the phone after installing the update. Instead, launch the apatch app on your phone. Then go to the download section, and from here, you will now have to tap and select install to inactive slot and then tap on OK. It will now patch and flash the new boot.img file in the inactive slot. After that, do a restart and then the new update will be installed and you have obtained root. So here is what exactly is happening. Let's suppose you are currently in slot A. Once you install an OTA update, it will be installed in slot B. So once it's installed in slot B, you will then have to tap on install to inactive slot. So apatch will also patch the boot.img file and flash it in slot B. So as of now, while you are in slot A, both the OTA update and the apatch boot.img file are in slot B. So now you have to do a restart. Upon a restart, the slot will be changed and then you will be on the slot B, and that slot B will have root, the patch boot image as well as the latest OTA update. So with this, you have obtained root and also you are on the latest OTA update as well. So apart from that, let me now show you how to flash modules via apatch. So it's quite simple. First and foremost, get hold of the required module zip file. Then go to the module section. As of now, there exist two sections, the AP module and the kernel module. You will have to go to the AP module, Apache module, then tap on the load icon and choose the module zip file. Let me choose any zip file. I might be having one over here. Simply choose the module zip file, and once the flashing is done, just tap on reboot, and after the reboot the module will be up and running. The flashing is quite simple to carry out. It will take a few more seconds and then your phone will boot to the OS. After that comes the most important part, how to give super user access to apps via Apache. So I will make a separate video on this as well, but still I am planning to discuss in short in this video. So first and foremost, you might be aware that if you obtain root via Magisk and then if you launch any rooted apps, you get a super user request on your phone, but that is not the case with Apache or kernel SU. In those, if you have obtained root by any of those apps, then you will not get any super user prompt. Instead, you will have to manually invoke that request. So as of now, even though my phone has obtained root via Apache, but if I try to launch any app, let me say just the root checker app itself, and tap on verify root, you could see that it's saying as sorry, root is not installed on my phone, even though the root is there on my phone. So this is happening because there is no super user prompt appearing on my phone. In case of Magisk, that prompt used to appear automatically, but that is not happening in case of Apache. So you will have to manually get this job done. For that, simply launch the Apache app, go to super user, wait for a few seconds, and then enable the toggle next to all the apps for which you want root. So for instance, I want the root for the root checker app and the Termux apps. So let me enable for both the toggles, both these apps. Once that is done, make sure to close those apps in the background. Those apps should not be running in the backend. Let me close both the app. And now if I launch the root checker app and let me refresh it once, and as you could see, root is now there on my phone. Likewise, if I launch the Termux app on my phone and type in SU, I have obtained root. I could now access the data partition and the super user access is there. So keep in mind that you will not get the super user prompt on your phone if you have obtained root via Apache. The super user prompt only appears in case of Magisk or the Magisk Kitsenu, which is the unofficial fork of Magisk. But in case of Apache or the kernel SU, you will not get the Magisk request, the super user request. Instead, you will have to simply launch the Apache, go to module super user, and then manually enable the toggle next to each of these app. Then close the app from the backend and then relaunch the app. Upon a restart of the app, you will then have obtained root, as you could see in my case. Finally, let me show you how to remove the root and unroot your phone via the Apache. So for that, launch Apache, go to the module section, turn off, and then hit the remove icon, tap on remove. It will ask you to do a reboot. We will not do a reboot now, we will do a reboot after removing the root from our phone. So now go to the home screen and then tap on uninstall next to working, then tap on uninstall all and wait for a few seconds. Finally tap on unpatch. It will remove the Apache as well as the Android patch from our phone, and it will then replace it with the stock boot img file. The entire process will take only a few seconds. Once that is done, tap on reboot and your phone will now restart, and it will now boot to the non-booted OS, and your phone is now back to the stock OS. So guys, this was all from this video on how you could obtain root via Apache. Apart from that, we have also shown you how to flash or patch the boot image file via Apache. You could either take the automatic approach in which you could patch and flash via farboot command. You could either flash it temporarily via the farboot boot command or flash it permanently via the farboot flash command. Apart from that, you may also take the help of custom recovery, TWRP recovery, and then flash the patch file via the boot partition. Or you may also use the manual method, which is quite complicated but will still get the job done. This is the manual approach. And you could also simply update the Apache file by getting hold of the latest patch from the GitHub. Then after that, choose the patch and install and hit the start button. And if you want to install OTA updates, then install the OTA, but do not do a restart. Instead, choose install to inactive slot, then tap on OK and your task stands complete. Likewise, you may easily flash the module as well by simply going to the module section, tap on load, choose the module and hit flash. Apart from that, to give SU access to the apps, you will have to do so manually from the module section. You will not be able to give it access automatically. there is no super user prompt in case of kernel SU and Apatch. So you will have to manually invoke the prompt for the super user and root as well. Finally, to uninstall the Apatch, just remove all the modules and tap on uninstall and uninstall all. And with this, the task stands complete. If you still have any queries with regard to any of the steps, do let me know in the comment section, and thanks a lot for watching.